Today, I'm going to teach you the 10 most important things that you need to know about in order to run an Airbnb business in 2018. Alright, welcome back Airbnb family. So today, I'm in one of my 8 new Dallas properties that I've been working on. They're still not done yet, but the bed frames come tomorrow, so we're good to go. And with that said, I've realized with this extra reflective time I have waiting on things from Amazon that over the 4 years that I've done this, I've seen some key changes on Airbnb and I've learned some hard lessons, and you have the benefit of learning from me. So I'm going to give you 10 things that aren't talked about as much as they should be, things you need to know in order to run your Airbnb business. So let's get to it. And number 1 is LLCs. As all of you have heard me say many times before, you need to have an LLC to have a proper Airbnb business. This gives you options, and there's a few things. 1, if you do rental arbitrage like me, there's buildings that won't let you do an Airbnb style business because it is technically subletting if you have a regular residential lease. So you need to have an LLC so you can have corporate leases. That's important. 2, if you ever want to sell your business, you need to have everything in a portfolio in something that can be sold. You can't have everything assigned to your social security number. That just doesn't work out. So put an LLC into play and put everything in your portfolio, rent or owned properties, everything into that LLC so that way you can sell it later. If you want to keep your homes but sell your Airbnb business and rent out to the new buyer, then you can just put, of course, your LLC contracts to manage the Airbnb properties, like the leases, have the leases signed to your own LLC. And that's how you separate the home you own from your Airbnb business, if you want to do that. 3rd, LLCs protect you from liability. If somebody wants to sue your company, they sue your company. They cannot just sue you. There's something you want to learn called, it's a phrase called piercing the veil. It's something that they'll do in court if they want to sue you and get through your LLC. And that is really based on how you treat your company and how you behave as a business owner. So do this right and you won't have to worry about any issues. So number 2. So number 2 is about the settings on Airbnb and the custom pricing settings. Many of you have asked me about this already. There are ways to set up like 2-night or 3-night or 4-night discounts, not just weekly or monthly, but in order to have access to this, you need to have at least 5 active published properties on Airbnb. Okay, so to get around this, if you only have 1 property, what I want you to do is I want you to make 5 properties. I want you to publish all of them, and I want you to snooze 4 of them. So you have 5 published active listings, and you snooze 4 after you get that, what would it be, the extra discount feature in your pricing settings. And then hopefully by snoozing them, you get to keep it, and you just snooze your other 4 listings indefinitely. That'll solve your problem. So number 3. So this is also about a setting. It's about your cancellation policies. So you can have either flexible, moderate, or strict on instant book, but there are extra strictness settings. There's super strict 30 and super strict 60, which is where people don't get refunds like within 60 days. This is reserved for non-instant book properties. And the reason why I think Airbnb has this is some luxury properties that you do extra screening on, like mansions and stuff like that. If somebody books far in advance, holds on to the listing for, 45 days out and then cancels on you, a luxury property has a hard time getting booked in a short window. Most people plan far, far ahead for stuff like that. So that's why Airbnb has a super strict 60, is to protect large or luxury properties from having these problems with turnover. So use it. If you have super big properties that nobody else has, then turn off instant book and set your super strict to 60. You won't regret it. So number 4, speaking of strictness settings, if you want to be listed in the work collection, let's say you have a bunch of studios and 1-bedrooms in your convention centers, you have to have your strictness setting for your cancellation policy set to moderate. It cannot be on strict. Sorry guys, but it might be worth the trade-off depending on where your listing is. Maybe set your strictness down to moderate and you might get an extra benefit from being in that collection. You still have to be superhost, but you get the point. So number 5. Airbnb's API, which is basically a fancy word for the way software communicates with other software, it only attaches, let's say it like that, with other softwares through the admin account. And here's what I mean. Let's say you use an automation software like Tokeet, Guesty, Wheelhouse, something like that. if any of them advertise like instant communication, which is not the iCal export and import, but an instant two-way communication with Airbnb, if you want to link your account to that software, you cannot use a co-host account. Okay, so if you're a co-host, or if you've made a co-host account like we do, we make multiple co-host accounts to manage our properties, and the admin account is only to manage the money and resolutions. If you do that like we do, you have to make sure that you link the admin account with the automation channel management software. Okay, so if you're a co-host, you want to put this in your contracts with your clients that if they want to use a channel manager to manage multiple channels, they have to do this and then give you access to the channel manager. Got it? Okay, that brings us to number 6. So, like we just said, admin accounts get special things that other accounts don't get. And one big one is resolutions. Only the admin account can issue refunds or request money. So if you have an automated business through primary co-hosts and secondary co-hosts, you're still going to have to get on your own account if you want to request money. This means that you still have to be available to your business, and don't overlook this. Thing is if you don't accept or decline resolutions and you just let time go by, that guest can call after 72 hours and then they can win a resolution because you were silent. So don't forget this and don't let it pass you by. Number 7, superhost status has changed. As of April 1st, it's no longer what it used to be. There were these assessment periods and they'd look at your last 6 months and say, okay, you've got a lot of 5-star ratings, you didn't cancel on any guests, etc. Well, they've changed this. They still do assessments based on cancellations over the last period of time, but instead of this 5-star over 6 month period of time, they're doing a lifetime tracking now. So you have to have a 4.8 star average over the lifetime of your account. So what I recommend for you is if you have too many reviews, like say 500 plus, and you are under 4.7, like if you're at 4.6, 4.5 on average, which is, sad. I'm sorry, that's your account. Sorry to hear that. You're going to erase that account. What you're going to do first is set up a new account, make new Airbnb profiles for all of your listings, get that thing ready, do an iCal link so that way you import all of your current bookings, and then I want you to shut down your old account and start using your new one. But also only do this if you're finally getting 5-star reviews. I need you to fix your review problems, whatever's causing under 5-star ratings. You need to make sure you fix that first, then make your new account and start on the right foot. If you want to be superhost, you're going to have to do this. You will never reach superhost if you have over 1,000 reviews and your review settings are if your review average is 4.5. You will need over 2,500 5-star reviews only to get over 4.8. There's no other way, and that seems unrealistic. Okay, so number 8, superhosts also get something else. They get an SEO boost. So there's 2 ways that you can get an SEO boost on Airbnb, aside from, of course, changing your listing and making it happen. So if your listing's brand new, you'll get an SEO boost for the first 3 months, which helps you keep up with other established listings, and that's why they do it. But now if you're a superhost, you get an SEO boost too. I can't tell you how dramatic that boost is, but it still counts. So every little bit counts with SEO, guys. Don't overlook that. It could be important and really mean hundreds of dollars for your business per month, per listing maybe. So number 9, there are actually coupons for guests hiding in your account. Okay, let me explain. So go to your calendar on the desktop or go to your calendar icon at the bottom of your app. Okay, so once you're on it, get your phones out and take a look. Get in your app and take a look. So log in, click on the calendar icon at the bottom, and you're going to notice you're going to have on a left and right swipe, you can see all of your calendars and then of course your check-ins and check-outs. Well, above that, you should see a section that says, we have ideas for you. You know what, actually, this might be in the progress section of your app. And I'm sorry, I'm using my phone to help me with this video, so I'm not gonna look. So on your app, you'll see either in the calendar or the progress section at the top, it'll have a left and right swipe where it says ideas for your booking. Click on those, and you're gonna notice that some of them say, offer 11% or offer 15% off these couple of dates, the 18th through the 20th. If you do that, it'll actually make a coupon, the same exact style coupon that you get when you're a new property, okay? That coupon will increase people's action. When they click on your listing and use your listing, it'll increase the likelihood that they will act. You can always raise your rates a little bit for those days too to offset how steep the discount was, because you don't get to choose what % discount. They'll give you a coupon offer and you're stuck with it, okay? Now, if you're on a desktop, this is the easier way to find it. get on your desktop, go to your calendar for your listing. So go to one listing, manage the listing calendar for that one listing. And on the right side, on the sidebar, you'll see the same thing that I'm talking about that you'll find in the app, where you have ideas how to improve your listings occupancy percentage. Ignore everything else, because it's going to tell you to turn on smart pricing. Don't. It's going to tell you to lower your rate by 63%. Don't. Just use the coupon feature. Got it? Okay. So number 10. Surprise, guys. Airbnb is a software and it has bugs. All right. This has costed me a lot of time, and I'll tell you why. So when you make a new listing, you're going to set everything. You're going to make your house rules, and we'll do a video on what your house rules should be later, because you should put some extra house rules. You'll put what time people check in, check out, how many days in advance, what your prices are, everything. But sometimes when you hit that publish button, it screws up and it will erase things. Okay, so you need to go back and double check all of your listings when you publish it, because my house rules have disappeared. So I've had somebody book and they didn't have any house rules to read. So now they weren't aware of certain things. Maybe they interacted with the building wrong. They brought a pet that they weren't supposed to. They smoked when they weren't told that there should be like a penalty. We do a $200 per day penalty if somebody smokes in the unit. And if it was not in the house rules when they booked, we can't enforce it. So double check your listings when you publish them, because Airbnb does make mistakes. It is not perfect. These 10, I hope they help you. And if, of course, you have any questions, I'll go into more detail in the comments. So leave a message in the comments. And by the way, guys, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, it's about time. So thank you for watching Airbnb Automated, and I will see you on the other side.